Number 5. President's Park. Back in February 2016, creepy and weird images of a farm in the U.S. state of Virginia started popping up on the internet. They were pictures of busts of the first 43 presidents of the United States, from the first George, Washington, to the latest George, W. Bush. No busts of Frank Underwood from House of Cards or Fitzgerald Grant from Scandal, because that would have been even more creepy. Anyhow, it turns out the busts were the remnants of a failed theme park that went bust. When the project went belly up in 2010, its instigator, Howard Hankins, started taking the statues to his 400-acre farm around 10 miles away from the site in Williamsburg. It took him about a week and cost nearly $50,000, since each president weighed around 20,000 pounds. Maybe Taft was a little heavier, but they say it's a glandular problem. Nevertheless, Hankins is hoping to save his statues with a crowdfunding page to help restore the heads and open a new park. The plan is to raise $500,000 so that a new museum can be opened and that everyone can get to see these amazing busts. Some of the 20-foot sculptures are missing important parts like ears and noses. Abraham Lincoln has a gaping hole in the back of his head, which is even more creepy when you think about how he died, right? In his museum, Hankins is hoping to include exhibits about the White House, America's First Ladies, and a spy and covert operations center. Let's hope it works. Number 4. Six Flags. As most of you know, Hurricane Katrina ripped through New Orleans, Louisiana over a decade ago, but some parts of the area still look like it happened yesterday. The Six Flags amusement park is one of them. Pictures taken by photographer Seth Lawless show in what a creepy and desolate state the pretty much untouched park has been left in. When he reported back, Lawless said, "You can see where the people would wait in long lines. The roller coasters, the snow cone stands, the souvenir shops, and even the Ferris wheel is still there." Apparently, he even saw an alligator while he was there because the floodwaters brought in the reptiles and they haven't left. Some of them are at least 10 to 12 feet long. Jurassic World, the blockbuster sequel to Jurassic Park, was even filmed there, but a crew of 400 people had to build a new backdrop on the grounds to bring out the modern world meets Jurassic Park feel that they needed. Number 3. Kejonuma Leisureland, Tohoku, Japan. Some people think this theme park is cursed. Why? Well, according to the Japan Times, the fact that it was built next to the site of the Pond of the Ghost Woman, an age-old myth that has freaked out Japanese people for generations, probably hasn't helped, and it might have even contributed to making the place close prematurely. Because when it opened, Kejonuma Leisureland attracted hundreds of thousands of children each year, with its amusement park, its campsite, and its driving range. In the late 1990s, less and less people started coming, and by the year 2000, Kejonuma shut down. What is left of it is really creepy, and would be a great place to shoot a horror film. Number 2. Happy World. In 1997, some of the Myanmar dictatorship's most powerful men got together for the ribbon-cutting ceremony for a brand new theme park near Yangon City Zoo. They hoped it would distract the population from the tough realities it was living under. The state-controlled media spun the theme park as a, quote, recreation center for the people with world-class, modern games, unquote. Flash forward less than 20 years later, the park is invaded by vines and trees that are swallowing the big red roller coaster, the Viking pendulum ship, and so many other dead rides. What's even more sad is that dozens of people are living in the abandoned restaurants and amusement centers on the park's southern edge. You know who those people are? The employees of the park, who lost their jobs when it closed over 3 years ago. When someone tried to find out from the owners why the park had closed, they found their offices were inhabited by a pack of vicious stray dogs. Number 1. The Land of Oz. The Land of Oz was a theme park and museum built at the end of the 1960s in Beech Mountain, North Carolina, and obviously inspired by the Wizard of Oz movie. Sounds like a great idea, right? Entrepreneur Grover Robbins had hoped the theme park would attract families and money to the resort town, and he was right. In the beginning, the park brought in up to 20,000 visitors a day, but the creator never lived to see them because he died of bone cancer 6 months before the park opened. Later, a fire destroyed the Emerald City and part of the museum's collection, including dresses that Judy Garland had worn in the movie. That didn't help park attendance, and 10 years later the gates closed. In the 1990s, Project Emerald Mountain saw the light though when a group of volunteers started slowly restoring the park. While it's still not what it was, tourists can come and go in search of the Emerald City. The park also hosts a 2-day annual festival with a guided tour, a picnic at Dorothy's farmhouse, and for an extra $100, a whirlwind visit from Dorothy herself. No, not Judy Garland. Now that would be really creepy.